I need to do some shoulder rolls because I've been sitting so much. So perhaps some of you may need to do some shoulder rolls. Too much sitting is
We did
exhausting.
a little, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go,
Oh,
Shamrock.
I was gonna say, we did a little breathing that everybody showed us in the last session at one point. We took a little breathing break in the middle.
Great. It looks like Marshmallow has a question.
Is it this bag of nails or is it this bag of nails?
It would be the brown one.
Okay, thanks.
Awesome. Good question.
I have a
Like a plastic bag.
yeah.
That works.
He said no.
Okay.
For this project, we're going to need 18 nails, and I put aside a couple extras as well. And that's why this bag has got a lot more nails in it. This also has the nails that you'll use to make the cornhole set on, I want to say Friday.
Nice.
Where'd you put it?
And how many of you have little brothers or sisters or animals? Raise your hands. And how many of you have people at home who walk around barefoot? Raise your hands. That's where we're going to be really careful about our tool management. We're going to make sure that we keep track of all our nails and that whatever you don't use gets sealed back in your bag so that your little brothers and sisters won't hurt themselves by sticking them in their mouths, because little kids do stuff like that, or no one will step on the nails. So that's why we're going to be careful of stuff like that. Also, you want to have a sturdy surface to work on. So if you're working on the floor, I think somebody's working on the floor, that's a great idea. If you miss with the hammer and it hits, you know, your adult's nice dining room table, it leave marks. So work on something that if you hit it with the hammer, it's not a big deal, okay? All right.
Shamrock, it looked like there's a
Let's do it on
question
the floor.
from Dom in the
Let's wait for instructions first.
There's a question from Dom in
Okay.
the chat asking for what do we need? are you going to review the supplies we're going to need today?
Yes. So you're going to need your hammer. And you're going to need, mine's already made, so I'll show you. You'll need your stack of blocks. And in your manila envelope, you had two different types of paper. You want to get the one that says 120 on it. And we're going to rip a small piece off of it. You are going to need your small parts bag, which is this like kind of clear wax paper bag. There are 3 ribbons inside the bag. I should do it the sign language way, 3 ribbons in the bag. Take those 3 ribbons out. And your brown nail bag. I apologize, my lighting's not very good. Can you see that?
Your lighting is just fine.
It is? Okay, on my computer with the glare, I'm having a hard time.
Can you go a little
seeing.
slower?
Yes. So
Thank you.
hammer, 3 ribbons, the wood blocks, sandpaper. Did I say hammer and nails? I think that's everything. Oh, and there's a piece of, there it is, it's right in front of me. There's a piece of paperboard. It looks like a cereal box, probably. That we're going to use that in this. If you don't have this because you thought it was junk, I see most, if you have it, hold it up in front of the screen.
Go get mine.
Awesome, good idea. If you don't have this, if you have a recycling bin, go pull a cereal box or a mac and cheese box or whatever box out of the recycling bin and maybe ask your adult to cut you a strip that's this big while we're working on the video. Do you think we have everybody? Are we ready to have me share the screen?
Hold on.
Did you already give the dimensions of the strip, Shamrock, in case somebody has to cut one?
It's maybe a 1/2 inch wide and just whatever length. It doesn't matter. This part isn't an exact science. It's just if you can see, I got to find something to put in front of the camera because it's really hard to see things in my hand. If you can see in there, you see there's a nail stuck through it. So the reason why we're using these is because my fingers are too big to pinch these little nails. This is easier to hold than the nail. I literally can't get my fingers on it. They're so tiny. And if my fingers do get on it, I can't hit the nail without hitting my fingers. This will keep your fingers from getting hit by the hammer, or at least it will help. So, all right. We're ready. So what I did after when people were done with a step is we kind of relaxed and we took a breath. So if I see you kind of relaxing like this, I'll know you're ready to go on to the next thing. So that was one of the little things that we did. If you need help, who's going to be monitoring the chat? Is that you, nobody?
I am taking care of you.
You're taking care of me.
Dixie is moderating the chat.
Okay, so you can either ask your question by asking Dixie, or you can raise your hand. You can use your real hand, or if you want to use the little reaction hands. Some people had a little hard time finding those the last session, so we just had them raise their real deal hand attached to their arm. So, all right, if we're ready to go, give thumbs up. You ready to go? All right, I'm going to start. Hi video. Let's see. Can you see that?
Yes, it looks just like you.
Guess what? It is me. You can see the little circle light that I had lighting the thing. I want to see if my sound is on too. Share computer sound. There we go. Okay. I think we should be good to go.
Hello, Alpaglow campers. This is Shamrock. I'm so happy that I'm going to be able to be doing some arts and crafts with you this week. A few safety items first. I would like everybody to put on a pair of closed-toe shoes before you get started. When we're working with a hammer and nails, we want to make sure that we have certain things that we use for safety. If you drop the hammer on your foot, it will hurt a lot less if you're wearing shoes. Also, if you drop any of your nails, it will hurt a lot less if you have shoes on. So that way, if you step on them, it will pierce the sole and not your foot. I want you to be really careful about the nails, especially if you have little brothers and sisters in your house. Make sure you count out a few nails, you know what your count is, and then that way, if you drop one, you know that you're missing one and you can search for it. The last thing I'd like you to do is get your safety glasses if you do have any available in your home. That was something that we were not able to send in your boxes. If you're outside, a pair of sunglasses would work as well. All right, let's get started. All right, Camber, so let's talk about hammer safety for a minute. So we're going to talk about the parts of the hammer. So this is your whole thing. This is the face of the hammer. This is the claw of the hammer. And this is the handle. So you only want to hit things with the actual face of the hammer. Hitting on the sides, hitting with the claw is very dangerous. The claw is used for if we have to basically pull nails out of things. So when you're holding the hammer, and this is a very short handle, when you're holding a handle, you want to hold it towards the bottom of the handle. And then that way you're going to let the head do the work. So the whole thing is called the head and the handle. So it has a face and a claw on the head. You only want to hit nails with this. This isn't a toy, it's a tool. So this is to be used when you're building something or when you're maybe taking something apart. But it is not something to be played around with or thrown or anything else. When you're not using it, you should carefully place it down and make sure that if you have younger brothers and sisters, that it is not within their reach. In this project, you'll be getting a couple of items out of your small parts bag. You will have your envelope of nails and your 3 colorful ribbons, which we can put aside for now. In your box, you will need your stack of Jacob's Ladder pieces. There should be 6 blocks and on this tape. You're going to need to have that piece of card stock that was in there. A lot of them are from cereal boxes. This is something I'll show you a trick to make it a little easier to basically pound your nails into your Jacob's Ladder project. And then I got a little bowl from my house, an old yogurt cup, a paper plate, just about anything, you know, canned from your recycling bin will work. This is just to help me keep track of the nails. So I'm going to count out 20 nails. We're going to use 18, but nails aren't always perfect, and it's nice to have a couple extra lying around. So let's get started counting.
If you don't have a little can or a little bowl, just make a pile somewhere on your table that you won't knock it over.
3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So now I know how many nails I'm in control of, and then the rest are going to go back. You have a lot more nails in your nail pouch than you're going to be using for the Jacob's Ladder project. Some of the nails are also going to be for the mini cornhole set. All right, so I'm going to reseal this up with the tape, and I'm going to put this back in my small parts bag. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put on my safety glasses.
Can you?
And then
The
the
video?
tape
Can you?
on your actual block.
What's going on?
I'm gonna-
What do you need?
Fast
I
and
didn't
it's a-
hear.
It's moving really fast and it's a little hard to keep up with because the images are glitchy.
Does anyone else have that same problem going on?
Yeah, your video is really glitchy.
Yeah.
But we
It's
can
working
talk.
fine for me.
Yeah, my video is not glitchy either. So it might be everyone's individual service. So if you can shut off your video, your own camera, and that will help the video that's playing play better.
All right. Good suggestion. Thank you, everybody. I didn't know about
Thanks,
that.
everybody.
The nails.
Swear for us every time.
We're still counting the nails.
That's okay. The beauty of this is this video is going to be on the Alpenglow Day Camp YouTube channel. And what's nice about it is if it works better for you, you can watch the video with us and maybe not even work on the project now, and then you can go back and watch the video and work on it at the same time. Or if you get to a point where if most people are a little further ahead and we move on, you will have the option to go back and watch it, and you can watch it as many times as you need. You can pause it as many times as you need, and then that way when I do stuff on YouTube, I'll do that. I'll pause the video and then I'll catch up and then I'll play it again. So that's what's nice about this camp. Okay, so I'm going to keep going, so don't worry if you're still counting nails. I'm going to be talking through a couple of parts. The reason I did stuff like count out nails during the video, it seems kind of boring, but it gives you time to do that. All right, so here we go.
Can I unmute and tell them that I don't need to count?
Carefully peel it
It's only
off
6.
because I want to reuse it again if I can. So try to find the last end that went on there. Peel it off. And then just try to put it sticky side up, just aside somewhere else that you can use it later. If it gets
And nobody, would you be able to mute people who are maybe just working, because I'm afraid with the overlap. You're awesome.
Sorry,
Thank you.
I didn't realize.
Afraid that some of the things that the video was saying people wouldn't hear. I do it all the time, so don't worry about it. What we are going to do is that what I was saying on the video is carefully try to take that piece of tape off of the blocks and then put it sticky side up off to the side because we're going to use it again. All right, here we go.
Direct. You can use any type of tape that you might have in your house to basically refashion.
The other tape I had is just for some reason, if you rip the tape to pieces, pulling it off, just any tape will do. Maybe not duct tape, it's super sticky, but like regular desk tape or masking tape if you need it. But if you carefully pull your tape strip off, you should be able to use it again.
And to get some of your sandpaper, I like to rip smaller pieces. So the easiest way to rip this stuff is to fold it and then fold it again on the other side. Let's really give it a pinch. And then it's a lot easier to rip it. I don't like using scissors on this. I feel like it could damage my scissors. So a nice small workable piece. And then what I'm going to do on here is I'm going to sand the corners. So I'm going to fold this over just to make it a little easier. And it doesn't have to be super flat. So basically what I'm doing is, see how it's rounded now? This one's a little bit rounded, so I'm basically easing the edge and I'm getting rid of any splinters that might have been there from when we were cutting the piece. You don't have to spend a ton of time on it. You're just going to get all of the corner places. So if we look at the difference between these, this one here looks a little rounded and this one's a lot more sharp.
All right, so the reason why we basically sand those is when you're, let me go, I have to find my video here so I can see. When we're rocking it back and forth, and it's a little sticky because it's brand new. If your edges are rounded, then they'll be able to do that. If they were square, they're gonna cause a little more friction and stick on each other. So just round off all of the little edges.
Go through each one of the 6 pieces, and we are going to ease the edges.
Shamrock?
Yep.
We have one scout who is having a hard time tearing her sandpaper. Do you have any insight?
I basically would fold it over, and then I fold it the opposite direction. Here, I can show you on my video. I have a piece, and so I'm gonna fold it, and then I pinch it down, and then you unfold it and then fold it the opposite direction. If you do that a few times and then you unfold it and do it the opposite direction again, it'll make the paper a little weaker. And then, so hard to figure out where the camera is. There you go. So you see how it has the fold there? That's where it'll be the easiest to rip. And then once I get it started, I can just pull it. It's not going to be completely perfect, and you just don't need a huge piece to do this. I like folding it with the writing side on the inside because I feel like I get a better grip on it when I'm sanding. Does that, hopefully that helps.
Captain Snapdragon, does that help? Well, let's carry on.
Okay.
And I wouldn't recommend using a tablecloth like I am to work on. A reason I'm doing this is I was afraid that the color of the table was too similar to the wood that I'm working on, and you wouldn't be able to see anything. So I needed something that was what we would call contrasting, very different in value, much darker. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video and you can continue working on sanding.
Okay. So I would like you to all just keep sanding all of your 6 pieces. And Dixie, did you go over with them since we have a lot of videos off, do your campers know how to use the like the thumbs up button or maybe the chat? They can tell you that they're all done.
I know a lot of them know how to chat, so we've been chatting. We haven't specifically gone over thumbs up.
Well, maybe the chat would be better because the chat
I
doesn't
know how to
disappear
do that.
anyhow. All right, so when you're all done sanding, you can just put done sanding, and then that way Dixie will know that at least most of the group is ready, and we can move on to the next step.
Yep, we have confirmed that we have several finished. So we have Bridge and Abby finished. Rainbow Reina is finished. Simba is done. I think we had one more. Hold on. Yeah, that's it so far.
Okay. Well, when you think that we're good, then let me know, Dixie.
Okay.
What were you going to say? I kind of cut you off.
No worries. I was just going to say, so campers, if you want to put in the chat room that you're done, please do that. If you just want to do a thumbs up on your reactions button, go ahead and do that as well.
And while I'm waiting for you to be ready, I'm going to stay hydrated and have some of my water.
All right, Bridge and Abby, Jennifer's done. Looks like Kaylee is done. Marshmallow's done. Willow's done. We're making good progress.
You're a very efficient group.
Cotton Candy's done sanding. So if you need more time, instead of putting a thumbs up in the reactions, use the clap icon or tap in the chat room, type in the chat room, I need more time. Okay, Stuffy Marshmallow needs a little more time. Cheese needs a little more time. Thank you, Scouts.
Loving the camp names.
Ladybug is done.
Shamrock, I think the reason this group might be a little more efficient than your last group is that this group is older.
Yes,
Buttercup is done.
I do realize that.
Cheese is done. Buttercup is done. Woohoo! All right, Stuffy Marshmallow, how are you doing?
Still need a little more time.
All righty. We'll give you a couple more minutes. Do we have a SWAT who can sing a song while we're finishing up? Juniper,
Or if you,
got a song you want to share?
Gizmo has one.
All right.
yay.
Okay, for those who are done, wrist together.
Wrists together.
A jellyfish, a jellyfish, a jellyfish, go. A jellyfish, a jellyfish, a jellyfish, go. Wrist together.
Wrists together.
Wrist together.
Wrists together.
A jellyfish, a jellyfish, a jellyfish, go. A jellyfish, a jellyfish, a jellyfish, go. Wrist together.
Wrists together.
Elbows together.
Elbows together.
Elbows together.
Knees together.
Knees together.
A jellyfish, a jellyfish, a jellyfish, go. A jellyfish, a jellyfish, a jellyfish, go. Wrist together.
Wrists together.
Elbows together.
Elbows together.
Elbows together.
Together. Toes together. A jellyfish, a jellyfish, a jellyfish, go. A jellyfish, a jellyfish, a jellyfish, go. Wrist together. Elbows together.
Elbows together.
Together. Toes together. Boom. Out.
Boom.
A jellyfish, a jellyfish, a jellyfish, go. A jellyfish, a jellyfish, a jellyfish, go. Wrists together.
Wrists together.
Elbows together.
Elbows together.
Knees together.
Knees together.
Toes together.
Toes.
Bum out.
Bum out.
Head back.
Head back.
A jellyfish, a jellyfish, a jellyfish, go. A jellyfish, a jellyfish, a jellyfish, go. Wrists together.
Wrists together.
Elbows together.
Elbows together.
Knees together. Toes together. Bum out.
Bum.
Head back.
Head back.
Tongue out.
Hello.
A jellyfish, a jellyfish, jellyfish.
So glad this is recorded.
Thank you, Cheese. All righty.
All right.
Actually,
So, oh, go ahead.
actually,
Gizmo.
oh, said it.
Stuffy Marshmallow is done. Looks like pretty much everyone's done now.
My
All right, awesome. So I'm going to move on to the next step. Oh, did you have something to say, nobody?
I think Cheese just wanted to make sure that Cheese and Gizmo got credit for that silliness.
Excellent. Let's see. Here
I'm
we go.
not done.
It's okay.
We can. You can also remember. We can have you go back and watch the video, but you can continue standing while you watch a little bit of the next step because it's a kind of a detailed thing. So if your eyes are on the video, you can stand a little bit carefully. Just don't sand your hand. Here we go.
Okay. Looks like all the 6 pieces look pretty uniform, meaning they look very much alike. All the sharp edges are gone. I'm not feeling any splinters, so we're ready to get started on nailing. All right, so this is going to be your nailing strip. It's a piece of cardboard from a cereal box. If for some reason you threw yours away, just go through your recycling bin and cut a small strip of some paperboard. It's not as thick as cardboard, much thinner. It's thin enough that you can poke a nail through it, because my fingers have a really hard time holding on to these little nails.
Okay, so when
They're
you're
so
poking
small.
the nail through, I'm going to try to do this so you can see. Oh, cameras. I'm much better in person, I promise you, but I'm not bad on the video. Okay, so when you're putting the nail in, here's some sky, you can see it. When you go to poke it through, you don't want your thumb directly on the other side of the nail because you'll just poke it through your finger. So try to just have your finger just off to the side a little bit. Where's the sky that, I'll put it in front of my face. See how my fingers are over here and the nail is here?
Yeah.
And then just wiggle it through and then push.
Do we use the ones from like our like
Yes.
thing?
You use the nails, yes, you use the nails that you counted out. Thank you, good question. Okay, here we go.
My thumb is actually bigger than the nail. So being able to have it on the nailing strip, I can hold this much more easily than I can hold this little nail. So we're gonna take our first Jacob's ladder. Here's a completed one, so I can show you the pattern that we're gonna do. So we're gonna take a ribbon and we're gonna nail one in the middle on this side. And then it's the same one. We're gonna do one on either end on the opposite side. And then each board will alternate. But I'll show you how to do that in a second. Right now we're just gonna focus on, we just want to get one ribbon on the board. And then when we're done, let's see, I don't know if I have enough room. It'll flip like that as you wiggle the top piece. So, you could always, this is an old one I had, and sometimes people will paint them before they put the ribbons on. This one's a lot more complicated because they put the ribbons between the pieces of wood. Ours is a little bit more simple, and I think it's very effective.
The video for a minute.
You want
Do we have a question with that pause? Or?
No, they just asked for you to pause. So rainbow, willow, stuffy marshmallow.
Keys has a question.
What do we do if our nail won't go in the cardboard strip?
Maybe the nail you chose
Keep trying.
could be a little bit dull. So if it doesn't feel like the tip of it is sharp, make sure you're putting the right side in first of all, that you want the sharper side. Nails aren't always perfect. Sometimes you get one in a box and it might have instead of having a very sharp tip on the end of it, it might be a little rounded. So maybe you got one that's not very good. You could try a different nail. There's a lot of wiggling involved, and then on just like the hammer, the nails have a head on them. The head is the flat part at the top. So you'll have to push down on the flat head part of the nail and do a bit of wiggling and just give it a try. Your fingers might be small enough that you might not need to use the nail strip. So, and then I saw that Marshmallow had her hand up.
I'm lost.
Okay, so do you have your 3 pieces of ribbon out?
Yes.
Do you have your sanded blocks of wood? Do you have a nail through your piece of paperboard?
Yeah.
Then you are totally in the right spot. You know what you're doing, my friend.
Okay.
So we're just going to keep watching the video from here, but you sound like you're exactly where you need to be. So nicely done.
Wait, I see Rainbow has.
We have a question. Yeah.
Oh, I can only see about 5 blocks of people's screens. So thank you for seeing the other person. So what's the other question?
Rainbow.
I think my screws are bigger than the ones that you show.
Are you using the nails from the white envelope or the brown envelope?
The white one.
The brown?
No, the white.
Okay, so the white one those are nails and screws that are for your birdhouse. So remember at the beginning of the video, I showed you all the small parts bag?
Yeah.
It's the wax paper bag. It's got your kite string in it and thread. There's a little brown envelope in this bag. That's the set of nails you need to use.
Okay.
So just put the other ones back in the envelope for when you work with Kit Kat.
It hurts.
And Abby, did you have a question?
Right there. Yeah, it hurts so much.
I'm good.
Okay.
So I know.
All righty, cool.
The person who said it hurts so much, make sure you're pushing on the dull side of the nail. If it hurts a lot, then there's something going on. So recheck what you're doing, because it shouldn't hurt a lot to wiggle the nail through. All right.
And
Well,
Willow,
my fingers are too big, so I have to hold on to the head, and the head's hurting my fingers.
Okay.
I don't think Willow's using the strip of cardboard.
Is Willow the one who just had that question? Let me see.
Yes.
Willow, can you put your camera on for a second and show me what you got going on? So I just see your face. I don't see any material. So you'll have to hold them up. And when you look at yourself in the camera.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. That's better. So the sharp end of the nail, poke it in there and just turn it and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
I'm doing that, but the head of the nail is hurting my fingers because I have to hold it like this.
Okay. The other thing you could try to do is you could try to peel your nail strip into layers, and it'll be a little thinner, and it won't take as much to put. So if you go to the end of your nailing strip and you pull the pieces apart, don't do the whole thing, because if it doesn't work for you, you might want the thicker stuff, but pull it apart and get a thinner strip of paper. So give that a try, okay? All right, are we good to go? All right, I'm gonna continue.
Near what? I like the blue in the middle, so I'm going to use blue, but you can use whatever you want.
All right.
Next thing, we're going to decide what color you want near what. I like the blue in the middle, so I'm going to use blue, but you can use whatever you want. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to line up the ribbon on the middle, and I'm going to fold it under just to get this tail out of the way. So it's on the top here, goes around this side and under.
So
And
I
just
want to
kinda
clarify on this part, because we had somebody in the other session mail the middle of the ribbon. You're going to want the very end of the ribbon to be what you put on the first side. I got to find my camera here. So, because this is one ribbon that goes from here and it winds all the way through your stacks to the bottom. All right, whoops. Let's see if I can get this straightened out. So you need to basically put the end on there. So
eyeball where you think the middle is. Right about there. I'm going to take my nail strip. Let's see, I wonder if there's any way I can get. I'm going to pause the camera and. All right, then I'm going to take my nail strip and I'm going to put the nail, in the middle of the ribbon that's on that side, and I'm going to give it a little push with my fingers if I can. And I'm going to see how I push the cardstock all the way down.
Just have the cardstock somewhere in the middle of the nail. If you push it all the way down, the nail falls out. Like that.
The paperboard all the way down against the wood. Of course, that fell out because that's how things happen sometimes, and that's okay. And then I'm going to take my nail and hit it in with my hammer.
And it might take a little bit for you to get it in.
And try to make sure you get your thumb out of the way.
The first one's the hardest. I was trying not to hit my camera while I was doing it, so I was having a hard time.
So we'll put the next one right on the nail strip. This will be halfway between.
I want to go back for a little bit here. And let's pause it a sec.
So we'll put the next one right on the nail strip.
Okay, so what I want to point out on here, and can everybody see my cursor moving around, my little arrow?
Yes.
Okay, so this blue ribbon is nailed on the bottom and the length of it is going this direction. You see that? Now we're going to take the green ribbon and we're going to put it about a third of the way in. The ribbon's also going to come this direction. So we want both of the ribbons to go from here this direction. So see where my cursor is? That's where the ribbon's going to lie, and we're going to put the end on it here. Then over here, this ribbon's going this way as well. So we want all the ribbons. If you were to hold your Jacob's ladder board like this, and your blue ribbon's going down, your green ribbon's going to be on the other side. It's also going to be going down. We want them to both fall in the same direction. Does that make sense?
Like
Can you give me a
this?
thumb? You guess? Okay.
Not really.
Okay.
Is it like this?
Let me show you. Who is saying that? Let's see. Because I only, like I said, I only have about 5 people at once I can see.
Like this?
I'm
Can we
Stephanie Marshmallow.
Yes. Okay. Is your name Raina? Is that right?
I was.
Okay. Nobody, could you put, did I say your name right? Is it Raina? Or I apologize if because I'm not seeing your name on.
My name's Raina.
Okay. Nobody, would you be able to spotlight Raina for us for a second?
And spot might be better for you if you stop sharing the screen for a moment.
Okay. There we go. Thank you. Do you see how she's got her block and both the ribbons are falling off and they're going downward? Does that make sense now that you see it? Nicely done. Thank you. Looks good. She saw that one. Okay, cool.
I think that, Shamrock, this might be a good place to ask if anyone is stuck. And if we need to have them show us the hard part so we can answer their questions.
I saw Cheese's hand up. All right, Cheese. So do you want to unmute to ask your question?
The second one, I don't get it.
Hey, we did it.
I don't get it.
All right, so you want to know where the second ribbon goes?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So do you see this block here on mine?
Yes.
All right, you see how on the top there's no ribbons going across it? So this ribbon would just fall straight down if I didn't have it woven through. Then watch what happens here. Oops, you froze. So this is the top, and I turn it around and I've got 2 more ribbons. So all the ribbons, they're going to be going downward like that. You see this here?
Okay.
Yeah. So the top of the ribbon will be attached to the edge and will drop downward.
Got it.
All right, cool. All right. Anybody else have a question?
Anyone else stuck?
How do you do that?
Do you have, can you show me where your project is at? Can you hold it up to your camera?
We haven't put in the first ribbon yet.
Oh, okay.
How?
So, do you have an adult there to help you?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah, but
Okay.
admittedly, I am lost as well. So
Okay. So, let's see. Okay, so your first ribbon, I gotta try to find my camera because I can't tell if you can see what I'm doing. Here we
Yes,
go.
I can
yes,
see.
yeah, we can.
You can see, okay. So the first ribbon, you're going to nail the end of it to the middle of this thin little edge.
I was.
There we go.
Oh, it looks like I can't see it.
I've got it. I can show her.
So you see how there's a top, the big edge, and then there's this little edge. You're going to nail the ribbon right in the middle of that.
Thank you, Shamrock.
We're good? All right. And we can go, and remember, we can go back and watch the video a little later too, and then you can always get a question to me as well.
This video that we're recording, plus the video that Shamrock already made, the video that Shamrock already made is already on YouTube, so you can watch it on YouTube anytime after now. And then this video where she's interacting, that will also go on YouTube soon.
Awesome. All right. And let's see. Good, my computer sound is still shared, so there we go.
This will be halfway between.
I said that wrong. It should be just a little bit underneath.
We can actually poke the ribbon through. See how the ribbon's through there?
And this is the hardest part. Once you get these 3 ribbons in, the rest is a lot easier.
All right, and the next one in. Don't get frustrated because it will pivot. The things that are the most fun to do in life are a bit challenging at times. And I'm having a hard time because I'm trying to work a video camera while I do this. So that is an additional bit of challenge on my part.
Shamrock, can we pause for a minute,
I'm comfortable with the nailing
Yes.
around the camera, which is not easy.
Did someone have a question or something I needed to address?
I just had a request for a pause.
Okay.
So maybe Rainbow Raina, do you have a question?
Yep, my ribbon broke, and now there's a nail, and I can't get it out with the hammer.
Oh, let's see. How can I get, if I stop the share, can we spotlight Raina for Rainbow Raina for a minute?
Yeah.
Thank you. There she is. Okay. I would suggest that on that nail, oh, actually, oh, see, this is very lucky because your nail on, so you have your blue ribbon in the middle on the other side, right?
Mm-hmm.
So on this side, your ribbons are going to go near the edge. So the nail you have in there, just pound it in so it's flat.
Oh,
so don't worry about getting it out. Just as long as you, oh, and it's easier. One thing I want to show you guys is, did you see in the video how, can everybody see this? It's awkward to do it with my video camera. If you're holding your block and you're trying to hammer while you're holding it, basically it's moving all over the place. If you put your block down, I can't even tell if you can see it because I can't. If you put your block down on the table will keep it from moving. But so have a table help you. If you have something, if you're just trying to do this, it's basically my hand's going to move all over the place. If it's on a table, it's going to stay stationary, and that will help you get your nails in a little better. So that was actually, if something could go wrong, Rainbow Raina, that was the best thing that could go wrong because your nail's just going to be in there. You'll just have an extra nail. So now line your nail up. So you see how on the edge here, there's the middle ones, and then there's the side ones. Your second 2 ribbons are going to go on the side of it. Okay. All right. Awesome. I'm trying to do this again.
the strip off. So that one's on. And then we're going to get our orange strip. And what we want to do is we want to make sure it's about the same distance from the edge. So we will do that one right about there. So we're going to add another nail to the nailing strip. And then we'll put our ribbon through it. Oops, I just ripped the ribbon. There we go. And we're going to make sure that it is going to be an equal distance from the edge. It looks pretty good right about there.
Bridge or Abby, did you have a question?
Hello?
I had a question.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead and ask your question, Abby.
Where do you put the second one? The second ribbon? Because I couldn't get the. Oh, never mind. Bridget's gonna help me.
Okay. And here, I'll hold mine up to the camera for a second again.
Okay.
You see how there's a ribbon here and a ribbon there? So there, that's where your second and your third ribbons are going to go. Because we're going to have, it's going to go opposite. Every other one will be sides, middle, sides, middle. But we're only worried about this one block right now.
And rip your nail strip off. So if you pull a nail strip one way and wiggle it, then you can go back over it and it'll come off. So now we have 3 ribbons attached, 2 on one side, 1 on the other. So this is the fun part. I really like doing this next part. Is we are going to flop the ribbons.
So is everybody at the point where they have 3 ribbons nailed onto their block? Not yet?
No.
Let me give you a minute to do that.
No.
Nice job, Cheese. I think Bridge has hers, right? Oh, look at S'mores. Good job. Looks like Marshmallow has a thumbs up, so I'm going to take that as she's got hers done.
All right. Dixie, because of the interest of time, should I keep going with the video at this point?
Let's give it 30 seconds and then let's go.
Okay.
Candy's still working on it. Give me a thumbs up if you guys are done, if you haven't already thumbsed up. Oh, look at S'mores, she's good. You can use your action ones also, thumbs up. Simba's good, Willow's good.
Okay, so the next part's the weaving part. Did you want me to wait 1 more minute, Dixie?
Can you wait?
No.
Stuffy Marshmallow, did you have something to say? Okay, how about if we go ahead and go on, and if we have some time afterwards, maybe we can catch people up.
Can you wait?
Yeah, so at Girl Scouts campers, I just want to bring our attention to the time that it's almost 4 o'clock. And we usually schedule about an hour. So we understand that some projects take a little longer or take a little, they're faster. So we have some room to be flexible. But I also want to make sure that all of our grown-ups who are volunteering also have plenty of time to get food and dinner and go potty and all of those things that we also need to do for our lives. So if you have lots of questions, we're going to need to move a little bit faster. And when you get stuck, you can have your grown-up write to us on the Facebook group, and we'll be paying attention to that. And we're also having, like we said, the videos will be on YouTube. So if you get to a part where you need to take a break or you're stuck, you can just pause and watch the future of what's going to happen so that you can have a big picture idea. And then later tonight, as soon as we're finished, you can go watch the YouTube video.
Done.
Okay, so I'm going to move forward so we can watch the rest of this.
Thanks, Shamrock.
Cross the Jacob's ladder.
Thank you.
And then we're going to start adding pieces. So this one goes on next. And then once again, we're going to flip the ribbons. I'm going to put another piece on. And pull the ribbons kind of tight through. So it's starting to look like that.
And I made a mistake, so I'm going to go back.
Oops, I forgot to flip first. There should always be ribbons before you put another piece on. When you get to this point, you might need to go through and tighten it because you see how they're kind of popping through on either side. So you need to get your full length of ribbon. So just kind of hold your stack down tightly and give it a little pull. And then and here goes your last one. Okay, remember that tape we saved? It's time for the tape. So this time, instead of it going around this direction, we're going to go this way. We don't want to be on the ribbons. So I put on a couple and line up your pieces and push down because you really want to get this long edge tape there. Sorry if I got out of the shot there. Okay, so your bundle's taped all around the long way this time. If you only have enough tape, just tape them from the top down through the sides on either side. Once you're here, you're going to want to tighten your ribbons. So if they're popping up, you can push them down and through. So this one here is pulling. This is popping right here, so I'm going to pull through. And I'm going to pull this one and pull that edge through. Flip it over and make sure you get that third ribbon on the other side. All right, so they are all pulled through. Now we're going to want to line them up. You want them to line up with the one that's
More or
nailed.
less. They don't have to be perfect.
So keep scooting them over, making them tight again. All right, so I'm happy with the orange.
So basically what you're going to do from this point is once your ribbons are pulled through and they're pretty well tight and lined up, you're just going to nail off all of those ribbons on both sides. So I'm going to go a little bit ahead and show you. Oops, I'm still.
Hey, so she's messed up and the nails are really hard to get out. Is there like an easy way to do that?
I would suggest
Done?
if
So I'm gonna
you can wiggle the ribbon around the nail head and pull the nail, like pull it off of the nail. You might have a little space to use the claw to get in there. If not, just pound the nail in and move it a little bit, move your nail a little bit left or right, and just put another nail in.
Well,
Yes, Stuffy Marshmallow?
I have a problem with, so I kind of have to show it. Like, one of my ribbons have like feathers. It's like
Is it
kind of,
frayed?
yeah, it's frayed at the bottom, and I can't nail it.
So you could do a couple of things with that. Is you could take a little piece of the tape and just wrap it around the frayed ribbon and then just nail right through the tape. Or you can use, if you have any school glue, you know the stuff you use at school, the Elmer's.
Oh yeah, that.
If you have some of that, you could rub some on the end of it and let it dry, and then that will kind of glue the ribbon a little bit back together. So there's a couple options that you can use. And then after it's been, the glue is dried a little bit, then you could nail through it. Does that help?
Yep, I decided on the tape.
Okay, that's a good choice. I like it. All right. All right.
I say we're gonna do the 2 on the next board, and then we're gonna flip it over, make sure it's tight, and we'll do the next side. So if you want to keep using that nailing strip, you can.
So basically, I'm going to go up a little bit further. Don't let that stress you out. I'm just showing you a little more of what we've got going on.
Up to the top. If you started at this end, you're going to have some weird, funny little gaps.
I'm just nailing it from the bottom to the top, just so the ribbon stretches in the same direction. But so basically, the point is, the idea at this point is to just put a nail in every single side.
All right, and then keep going all the way up.
Look at everybody. She got hers to work. They got theirs to work.
Let's see.
Well, it was Steve Bones. I'm just playing with it because he walked away.
It looks good though.
Hey, be patient.
It's a little bit tight, but
You're
it'll
having a
look
hard time. Fumbling.
Dixie, I'm kind of deaf. I didn't hear you.
Really quickly, we had one camper who had 2 nails that aren't going to work. I'm not clear why. Maybe they bent them. I'm not sure. But you said that you put 2 extras in the kit, right? So they should be okay for the next project?
Actually, I put a lot more than 2 extra.
Right.
I just figured they could have a couple extra out for this project in case they bent one. So they can get more nails from their nail pouch and that'll be fine.
So Beaker, there you go. There's your answer.
We're only going to need about 10 nails total for the cornhole, and I think I gave you guys almost 50 nails. So.
The more you try to do something, the more practice you get, the better you'll get at it. And you can always go back and watch the video again.
So I'm going to show you one last thing that I do at the very end, because I think you guys understand what it is to hit a nail.
Let you keep going, and I'll see you when we're all done nailing.
Oh,
Okay,
you know what? I skipped the part. I thought I recorded it. So when you're completely done and all your little places are nailed, if you have a little bit of the, actually, let me stop my share. And would you be able to spotlight me, please?
I think you're spotlighted. Or
Okay.
spotlit.
So when you're completely done, if you get to the end and your ribbons are hanging off, then you can take a scissors and you can give them a little, just a little trim.
I have scissors.
And then you can get them nice and clean. If you really want to make sure they don't fray, which is when the ribbon starts to come apart, you can take, if you have some Elmer's school glue at home, you could put a drop on the ends, just on the two end blocks, this one and this one. You can put a drop of glue on the end of the ribbons and just smush it around and let it dry, and that will help your ends keep from fraying. Yes, Rainbow Raina?
I'm still stuck on this part, on the stacking.
Well, you are in luck then, because we have a video that you can go and stop and start as many times as you want. And I know you'll get there because it looks good so far. Beaker, that's looking good. Let's see. Hopefully I'm not shouting. I feel like I'm shouting at you all, and I don't mean to be.
You're fine.
All right.
Rock, you're good.
All right. Oh, I see Stuffy Marshmallows looking pretty good. Almost
Look
done.
at that.
Right on.
I've
Okay.
I've only nailed in the 3 ribbons.
That's okay, because we've got a video and you can go back, and sometimes it's nice to take your time doing things. You don't have to do everything this in the same speed that everybody else does. You might like to work a little more methodically, and that's okay. So, all right. Anybody else want to share what their project looks like at this point before we go? Looking good, getting there. So tomorrow we are making kites, and there's a list that's going to be sent out to your adults that will tell you what items you need for kites tomorrow. And I think you're going to find that a lot of fun. That one's going to be a pretty fast project, I believe, until you get to the art, and then you can spend a ton of time just creating all over your canvas, your blank canvas of your kite. So, looking good, guys.
Woohoo!
All right. Any more questions before we're done?
Some people are curious to know what the YouTube channel is called. And what the video is called.
I can put it in the chat room really quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna go show my mom this.
Excellent. Good job.
And for those who are asking questions on where to find the YouTube video, nobody, can you help us out?
Yeah, I'm about to put it in the YouTube video in the chat room. And if you miss it from the chat room, I'd be very excited. I'll be sending it out in a letter to your grown-ups in just a few minutes.
And remember to make sure that you put all your nails and your hammer away, especially if you have little ones in your house. Can you tell I had a kid who just tried to eat everything? So.
It looks like some of the YouTube videos are not easily shared. They've been set to private. So I need a few minutes to go and fix it. And everybody and I will send out a letter to all of your grown-ups with what the YouTube channel information is once we have it worked out on our end. So that's all. Is there anything else we
Do
need?
you hammer both sides?
We've got one side done, but do you do the other side as well?
Yes, you want all of the sides nailed. Can you see the shiny nails there?
Perfecto.
And the same on
Thank
this
you.
one. You're welcome.
Great. Well, thank you, campers. Is there anything else that you need, Shamrock?
I don't think I have any more announcements.
Announcements.
Announcements. Terrible waste of time. A terrible waste of time. A terrible, 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 terrible waste of time. Announcements, announcements, announcements. Have you ever heard a windbag, a windbag, a windbag? Have you ever heard a windbag? Well, you're one right now. Announcements, announcements, announcements.
Couldn't help myself.
It's all right. All right. Good night, Girl Scouts.
And giggles, I'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye, everybody. And all the
Bye.
humans.